The verdict is in. The players involved in the 2018 Hockey Canada sexual assault case have been found not guilty. But the trial and everything that surrounded it raised bigger questions about power, culture, silence, and the very soul of hockey in Canada. This isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a deeper reckoning. Welcome to Matt's Media Space. My name is Matt, and this is my media space, and we're going to talk about what comes next for the NHL, the NHLPA, and Hockey Canada itself. The story began in 2018 when a young woman came forward alleging that she had been sexually assaulted by members of Canada's World Junior Hockey team after a Hockey Canada gala in London, Ontario. Those 5 players were Carter Hart, Dylan Dubé, Michael McLeod, Alex Formenton, and Cal Foote. Years passed. The case was closed, then reopened, and then scrutinized in the national spotlight after Hockey Canada had settled with the young woman. And it was revealed that the organization had used player registration fees to fund the settlement costs. And now, after a highly publicized trial in 2025, the 5 players that were charged have been found to be not guilty. The legal process has concluded, but the questions raised about hockey's culture haven't, and they're not just going to disappear with a single verdict. For many Canadians, the trial wasn't just about guilt or innocence. It was about trust. Trust in Hockey Canada. Trust in the systems meant to protect survivors. Trust in the leaders who had promised change. Sponsors paused funding. Parents pulled kids from programs. And the credibility of Canada's national sport took a major hit. Even with a not guilty verdict, the damage to public confidence remains. And why is that? Because the scandal revealed more than one incident. And it exposed an organization that protected its brand more than it protected a victim. So how should Hockey Canada, the NHL, and the NHLPA move forward? Well, here's a strategic communications and cultural roadmap on how to do just that. Number 1, acknowledge the verdict and broaden the conversation. Hockey Canada must clearly and respectfully acknowledge the outcome of the trial and reaffirm that legal innocence does not erase systemic issues. The broader culture that allowed allegations like these to fester still needs to be confronted. Number 2, rebuild through radical transparency. Set up a permanent, independent public ethics and conduct office not controlled by the organization. Release annual misconduct reports, normalize public accountability, and put an end to secrecy. Number 3, NHL and an NHLPA joint leadership statement. The NHL and the NHLPA must stop reacting passively to off-ice scandals. Now I know the NHL and the NHLPA have already released statements in response to this, but that's just what they were, 2 separate, very different statements. They should issue a joint declaration outlining their commitment to off-ice conduct policies, cooperation with law enforcement, and education around consent, power, and abuse prevention. Number 4, survivor-informed policy overhaul. Bring in experts. Consult with survivors. Design prevention and response policies that don't just protect the brand, but also people. Hockey Canada must work with external organizations, not just former players or PR consultants. And number 5, proactive culture shift campaign. A long-term campaign, Change the Room, could be launched to address locker room culture. The campaign will focus on players, coaches, and parents, because real change happened long before someone's drafted. Take this from somebody who's played hockey before. I've been in those locker rooms and I know about the things we talk about. And it's been 10 years since I last stepped into a locker room, but by the sounds of it, it's only gotten worse. Even with the verdict in, many Canadians are still asking, how did we get here? Why did it take public outrage, sponsor withdrawals, and parliamentary hearings to force action? And will anything really change? Look, here's the hard truth. Legal innocence doesn't equal a moral victory. Public institutions must hold themselves to higher standards. And fans, families, and athletes, especially women, are demanding more. This is a defining moment for Canadian hockey, not because of the verdict, but because of what it revealed. Hockey Canada, the NHL, and the NHLPA now have an opportunity to lead, not through marketing slogans, but through action. What if they created the gold standard for safe sport culture? What if Canada didn't just export elite hockey talent, but also exported ethics, accountability, and reform? That's the real win. The players were found not guilty. The legal case is over, but the cultural reckoning is not. Hockey Canada and the sport as a whole now stand at a crossroads. Will they defend the old guard, or will they finally build something better? Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave your thoughts on the trial and its verdict in the comments below. And if you want to see more PR content just like this, be sure to like and subscribe. This is Matt from Matt's Media Space, and I'll see you in the next one.